Hi guys, hi, how are you? Uh, Thank you so much for joining in here, and I'm very excited for this session because tonight, right now, I'm going to have Mohak with me. So before I take Mohak with me here, so I would like to tell a bit about him. So Mohak is the founder CEO of Voice Verso. So Voice Verso is world's first emulator-based software for book publishing houses and for authors as well. And then he is also founder chief engineer at Smart Cities Wheel, which is also his another venture. So today we are going to learn a lot from him about startups and about robotics, about literature, and there will be many more things to learn. So please join in and keep joining in here, and I'll just take Mohak with me.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hope you are able to hear me. Am I audible?
Yeah, and I hope I'm audible because I'm also not using earplugs or maybe mic or anything.
No, I can hear you fine and clear.
Absolutely. So, so tell me what's up, what's going on? Like before we start the official session.
Nothing much. It's just a small weekend, and there's no special or adventurous going on. It's just same old work, and I just came from the office and work, and now I'm at the live session with you. Very excited to meet your people, and very excited to have a good conversation. Looking forward to it.
And I'm very excited to learn a lot of things from you. Like we know each other from quite some time now, but we have not interacted as such in officially or maybe. So I have discussed sci-fi thing with you earlier.
We have
So
discussed science.
we
We have
have we
discussed
have
science.
discussed sci-fi. So we have
Yeah,
this
and
thing in common. Yeah, yeah,
and we have
absolutely.
We have discussed physics also a lot, if you
We
remember.
have right. We have discussed physics also, and you have also tried to teach me physics somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
just a
guess
one.
I learned my first lesson from you, quantum physics, if you remember. My classes are
Yeah, yeah,
still due.
right, right. It's like just one session and then you left because you were busy and we were. I thought I was a bad teacher. I thought I was a bad teacher, but then I realized that okay, you are busy.
No, you are not a bad teacher. I'm a bad student because I left after the first class and I have not learned quantum physics since then. So I keep on
Hmm.
reading something, but I definitely want to continue our classes. It was fun actually.
Nice, nice.
So, and
I'm
I still
looking
have
forward.
my notes. And I still have
Oh,
my notes.
that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I've
Yeah,
kept it.
cool, cool, cool.
Okay, Mohak. So, how
Yeah,
is the weather in indoor? First of all, I would like to know about the weather because it's pretty hot here. No rain.
yeah. Hmm. So Indore has a very delayed rainfall right now. Like earlier, it was too hot and very unbearable. It was like the humidity has gone off to the charts, which never do in Indore. Indore is not a very humid place. It's not been surrounded by sea or ocean or something. But it was very, very bad. But now, since past few days, it's raining heavily and it's very good right now. It's very perfect. Yeah.
That's nice यार. यहाँ तो 2 दिन पहले बारिश हुई थी. आज दिन में थोड़ी सी हुई थी. उसके बाद फिर से it's too hot here. I'm craving for बारिश again.
Oh my
So
God.
let's see.
Let's see. Yeah, it will
Okay,
happen soon.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it will happen soon at your place also. Don't worry. It's raining everywhere. Cat.
यहाँ तो इतनी बारिश होती ही नहीं है. Like अम्बाला is totally, you know, out of this zone. बारिश अम्बाला में बहुत कम होती है. So where
Come.
I am right now in my hometown. So we
Hmm.
always crave for बारिश. So fingers crossed. I just see online people are posting pictures of बारिश and all, and I'm a hardcore बारिश lover. I love
Same,
बारिश. Even the
same
excess
here.
of it. I love it. I can never get bored of it.
Yeah, same here, same here. I love it. Like, drenching in the rain is one of the best feeling in exuberance. I like to play football also in that time, so that's very good.
I think I just like to maybe write and Maybe, I just crave for barish. I just like to watch barish from the balcony or
Yeah.
window. I just like it that way. So I love it. So
Yeah.
traveling
What's
is
that
when
quote?
you travel in the barish,
Right.
awesome.
Right. Yeah, there was a quote, no? People who are creative, they become more creative when there is rain. So maybe that's why we resonate the rain most,
Which
you
is
know?
true. Which is
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
true. So
yeah.
even if I'm not thinking anything, I can actually write amazing stuff when there is barish here.
Same, yeah, same goes with me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
moving ahead with the question answers part. So Mohit, tell us something about voice verso. So I know about it like upper say. Even since I know you, that's why I know about voice verso a little bit. So, but
Hmm.
I would like to know more about it basically. Voice verso and even your other startup, Smart Cities Wheel.
Right. So basically, voice verso is not a very rocket science. It's like a book publication software for authors and publication houses. So what we have done is we have created a holistic platform for authors and publication houses. Initially, what used to happen was when somebody as an author reach out to a publication house to publish their books, they will have this untidy contract. They will have all these discussions as to where to proceed or not to proceed. They will have negotiations. Will it be a royalty based or it will be a upfront payment based? And once it has been done, then takes manuscript to get ready to paperback a minimum of 1 month of time and maybe maximum of 3 to 6 months. So it was a very mechanical process. Story behind Voice also was that I wanted to write my own science fiction novel, and I was not
And I
able
know
to find.
that.
Yeah, so I was not able to find right publication houses for the same. I tried approaching a lot of. I cold email, a cold call, and cold email a lot of publication house. And when I reached to them, I realized that there is a big problem and there are a lot of loopholes that publication house has not targeted yet. And book publishing from past 4 decades have been the same process, it's same mechanical process. It uses Microsoft Word, cluttery manuscript for 8,000 to 10,000 and 50,000 words, and then they edit it, proofread it, sentence correct it, even have back and forth discussion with the authors, and then eventually they will make it ready for Kindle, iBook, paperback separately because all these platforms are very separate. What we did was we converged those platforms into one and made it a process like a cakewalk. So it's like basically the time that used to be taken by authors and publication houses to publish books was 1 month or 6 months. We have made it into 15 to 20 minutes. So once you upload
Okay.
your manuscript, yeah, once you upload your manuscript or you write your manuscript onto our editors at Voice also, it will not only help you proofread, sentence correct, and check the grammatical errors. It will also help you if you are a fiction writer. It will also help you to have an alternative story choices. Our artificial intelligence neural network will give you chances that you can choose to make your story more, more quirky, more compelling, and more engaging to your readerships. Once it is being done, then you will be offered the templates for cover images. The way you get in WordPress, like you choose templates for your, for your themes and for your website. Same way you will get the templates for cover images, which are like free and premium ones that you can buy also, and you can have free ones as well. And you can edit those templates according to your need as to how you want those books to be. So like just like Canva that you edit the entire templates and everything. And once you're done with it and you click on the publish or preview button, you will get on your screens the preview of Kindle, iBook, and paperback simultaneously as emulators on the screen. So emulators are
Okay.
basically hardware devices mimicking into the software one. So that's how it will be generated. And once you hit the publish button, the book will be ready to publish. Like it will be ready for every aspect of it, and you don't have to do any mechanical labor or hard work for it. So complete autonomous holistic approach from making manuscript ready into the paperback and Kindle and iBook. So that's the entire scenario for voice versa. And coming to the other startup, Smart Cities Wheel. So Smart Cities Wheel also started with my idea of understanding of how, with the convergence of urban infrastructure and with the development of how people are migrating from rural areas to urban areas is high. It's like 33% every year, and year on year it's growing. So I realized that with this cultivation of people coming to cities, it will be very difficult to manage and plan cities which are encroachment free, which are very livable, and which are very sustainable in terms of quality of life that they can offer to the citizens and the commuters. So I came up with this model of 12 key performances indicators, which is basically it's like KPIs. So what happens is every tri-monthly, these 12 key performance indicators will give you exactly where the city is not performing well and what necessary call to action needed to be taken in order to make the city well. So our key components and key customers were government officials and all. Eventually, when I realized that this could become a more better product and more enhancing one, we came up with an augmented reality app. So what happens is any urban planner or a city stakeholder or a city developer can go to a place, they can have a panorama video through our app, and that city area will be augmented onto their screen, giving them necessary dimensions and everything, like what happens and how you can avoid the encroachments when you replan the city and replan the area. So that was the entire process of it. Eventually, what happens is when we did that, we realized that there are a lot of oral data that is available in the city, and there are no data which is available for us in order to pursue this model further. So we use that problem statement and we develop a robot for it. So what we are doing right now is we are manufacturing a robot that goes onto the area. See, like there is a 10,000 square feet of area or 6,000 square feet of area. It scans the entire place, it gives the measurement, it gives the dimension, it gives where the smart parking can come, it gives where the green building can be developed, it gives entire construction, and it gives the AutoCAD file, a 2D AutoCAD file to the urban planner or the architect who's designing that platform. So complete holistic design for him, and he can just choose, he can just make amendments and he can just pass the design so that it becomes easier for him. The
So
next
the
version of
entire
the
thing will be done by one robot. Actually.
Yeah, yeah. So basically this process is also very mechanical. It will be like collecting the documentation, going for dimensions, going measurement, analyzing, and then making an urban plan, an AutoCAD design. But eventually, our robot will do all this heavy lifting part for the urban planner. He just has to make the amendments in the final design if he ever wanted to. And the next part of the robot is basically it will also go and help the laborers to lay the brick and masonry also. Like they will help the laborers to lift the bricks and to actually put the bricks and lay the entire wall and structures of the city. So that's the entire product that we are working on.
I think that's amazing, the kind of work you are doing. Coming back to Voice Verso for a minute, I have one question here. So, as you said, that an author can publish his books, online. So, with the software that you have, and he can, just submit the manuscript and do the editing part and, stuff like that, and choose his own cover design and publish the book. So is it a self-publishing kind of thing, or there is something that you guys do, like so if I talk about traditional publishing, which so my books, for example, are being published traditionally. Both my books are traditionally published. So when I submitted my manuscript, so it was like my publisher who decided everything. So he gave me the editor, and he had his own designer for the book covers and all that. So in this thing, in Voice Verso, basically, is the author who is going to do all these things, or you will be also doing something, like you and your team. So I want to know, is it a self-publishing kind of a thing, or is it like a mixture of traditional publishing or self-publishing? What is it exactly?
So basically, our target customers are self-publishing authors only. Like they will be the one who will be reaching out to our product. But we are open for traditional publishing as well. The reason I'm telling you is this: that the author, when it comes to the platform, he doesn't have to do the heavy lifting part. It's our software that will do it for him. So let's say right now people like now most of the self-publishing authors, they have to they have to do the dry run as to test whether they are ready for publishing their book or not. So they can come to our platform, write their manuscript or upload it onto our editors. It will be done, like the proofreading and everything will be done from the software. They can see the cover images. If they wanted to edit it, they can, or they wanted to upload their own cover image, they can do it too. And once it is been ready, then they can test it on Kindle. So basically we are providing the Kindle publishing free of cost. So once the emulator is ready for Kindle, iBook and paperback, then they can propagate into the market. And they can reach out to the publication houses that are associated with us on that platform for the traditional contract bearing. The main problem that we are solving is not that we are a publication house. What we are doing is we are a two component system. Number one, We make self-publishing authors' life and paperback industry's life, like publication house life, is easier, so that it becomes a seamless publishing experience for them, because we are an enterprise software. We are not a publishing house. So we make that, and then the other part is we make authors, those who are wanting to test water, to be connected to the publication houses in a very, in a very open and ended contract. So that's the two things that we focus on.
Okay, so that's amazing. I think it's something very different that you're doing. I have not heard it before.
Yeah, yeah,
Wi-Fi.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So I
yeah.
was
So
saying,
the
what you guys are doing, it's like it's something really different. I have not seen it, or maybe I have not experienced it before. So it's amazing, actually.
Thank you, thank you.
So,
The thing is,
so
yeah, the thing is, yeah. Go ahead,
yeah,
go ahead.
please.
Yeah. So the thing is, as I told you before also, that nothing much have done in terms of improvement of technology when it comes to publication side. Most of the things has
True.
been done in distribution side, or making like invention of Kindle, invention of iBook. These are things that are now Audible also. So we are bringing the podcast like Audible software also. Like you can publish your audiobooks as well onto the Audible. So we are bringing that also into our voice also platform. So what
So
we are doing is
basically, you
we are
are
making.
providing everything on a single platform for the,
Right,
for the
right,
audience.
right. For authors and publication houses as well, and we are making input, like the output is what? Book publishing, distribution, marketing, sales. We are making the input very easy for the public, so that the cost become very less. Right now, if you go to any big publication, I know you must have an experience of it. When you go to a very big publication house and you are a debutant author and you approach your manuscript to them, they will straight up go with non-royalty deal with you, and they will charge you like 5 to 7 lakh rupees for distribution on Flipkart and everything. And
True.
with this innovation, like with this thing, we are not only reducing the time, but we are reducing the cost of publishing as well. So that way, the paperback won't be charged too much for you when you become an author or a self-publishing author in future. So that's the entire idea.
Okay, so you have already told me your motivation behind the voice verso. Like, you are just trying to bridging the gap, the loopholes that you have experienced yourself. But then still, I would like to know what was your motivation behind voice verso and this and the smart city wheels. I really want to know about that. What made you, start this whole thing?
See, the entrepreneurial bug was already there with me when I was in sophomore year of my college. I was already doing and experimenting stuff. So the first product that I created was in my second year of college, where I made a wearable gadget that sends the mood of a person, emotions of a person, and offers you song choices on your app. So that was the first product that we created. So I already have this entrepreneurial thing in me. Then when I realized that I wanted to publish and I was very serious about my science fiction novel, the only thing I came up with is I created an Excel sheet, and what I did was I made the list of all the book top publication houses that I can approach to. And being naive as a kid I thought that okay, it's a science fiction and it's a very unique concept. The publication houses will be readily available to accept this as a manuscript and publish it. I was very excited about it. And then I sent them the summary and I sent them the chapters, and I realized no, it's not that easy, and it's not very like they are not very welcoming to first of all new authors, and specifically science. So there was this joke one that I won't mention the name of the publishing house, but it's very big, and they told me कि in Hindi they said it very specifically, and I remember it verbatim. They said कि आप तो इंजीनियर हो, मैंने कहा हाँ, बोले आप तो रोमांस ही लिखते होगे, मैंने कहा नहीं, साइंस फिक्शन लिखा है. So that was the attitude that they have, because that time Chetan Bhagat and everyone was becoming too famous with the novels and everything.
What
So I
year
said
was
no, I
that?
don't. I think Chetan Bhagat came in the business, I guess, around in 2012 or something, and Voice was so like we came around like when I was approaching the publication also, it was like 2014 or 15. That time, ample
Okay.
amount of Chetan Bhagat books were famous, and a lot of people from engineering colleges, especially IITs, have came into romantic genre. So, so I was like, नहीं कुछ हुआ नहीं ऐसा, इसलिए साइंस फिक्शन लिख रहे हैं. That's what I said. Because so I realized really that there is a big problem in the industry. And for 4 decades, can you imagine, like right now, like medical science, payment industry, e-commerce, social media, these things have become so popular in our generation. And within 5 years, 6 years, they have picked up so vast and so big, you know. But the publication industry for 4 decades, they were using Microsoft Word as the only key software to write and publish novels, you know, to edit them, and and some Adobe software for creating cover designs and everything. So I was like very detested by how they're operating, and I said, "Ki, forget it. I keep my manuscript on the shelf and I'll start working for these publication houses and build this amazing software." And from that time, I never get a chance to write my own book, but I am now helping thousands other authors and publication houses to publish theirs. So that was the motivation behind Voice Versa. The next question was smart cities wheel. So yeah, I since childhood I was very much fascinated about the 3D dimensions of the cities and how cities are being made, what manufacturing and what kind of purposes the city actually requires, why city becomes livable when it is non-livable, and how this urban migration is affecting the most populous and the mass construction of the cities. And that was the big challenge that I figured out since childhood, and I was like very fascinated about it. How the roads are being constructed, like how the seamlessness of citizen, city, the governance, and everything come into one to build a city. And that was my whole dream. And the dream was so dream from the childhood was like I wanted to create my own city once, you know. So that was one fascinating dream that I had. And based on that, I started laying the groundwork for Smart Cities Wheel. Initially, I just wanted to focus on Voice Versa because one startup is enough. You can't really dive into two. But then I realized that I wanted to publish a paper for Smart Cities Wheel, like the 12 KPI that I explained you earlier. I wanted to publish a small paper for it in some journal or something. But then I realized that instead of doing so, I don't want it to be come out as an academician, but I wanted to make a sincere impact towards city planning. And that's when the idea of Smart Cities Wheel took off.
So that this was my another question, that how do you balance both the startups? It's
It's
not
like hell
easy.
actually,
It's not even easy to handle one. Like you're handling two right now. How?
right? It's not actually easy. It's like a hell of a life, to be very honest. And I would recommend don't try it. Don't try it even.
No, no. I'm happy being a writer. I will not. I can't.
Right. So basically what I do is I have quickly analyzed this that what so to be honest, people actually sell them like they are very underrated when it comes to what they can actually achieve when the time is there with them, you know. So what I do is I have a small management system where I have a time management thing. I have created my own sort of a it's a physics way of doing things. Basically I call it first principles thinking. So basically,
Wow.
breaking down yeah. So breaking down every challenge or every problem or everything that you wanted to do into simpler small things. Like if you have a hypothesis or if you have an axiom, break it into smaller stuff so that there are no other stuff remaining from them, and then reason it from there. So let's say if you wanted to create something, just break it down into small pieces, and into such small pieces that you are just left with the raw materials and nothing else. Like there is nothing more to do that. And then start raising up from there. It is a good mental exercise, but the answers and the results that it yields is very, performative. And that's how I manage the two companies. That's how I make it possible. So it's a very old physics concept, but I just, upgraded it into my working style. So that's how I manage it.
That's kind of amazing. So my another question for you is, what are the new avenues that technology is tapping right now into, when it comes to publishing books? So I would like to know
Right.
ki how broad it is in that sense.
Especially speaking, Kritika, about the pandemic issue, right now the publications companies, which are the traditional ones and which were dependent on paperbacks, they have skewed their businesses because it is becoming difficult for them to have distributions, logistics, and everything arranged. Printing machines to
Of
be
course.
arranged as well. Yeah. So the next thing is I see a lot of new hardware devices coming into picture. At least like Voice also in their next timeline also have a plan for the same. So basically a 3D printer which anybody can afford, like an author also can afford and a reader can also afford. And while pressing a button on Amazon to buy a book, the book will automatically be printed from their device itself so that they can collect it, you know. So the 3D printer will have a capacity of, let's say, 200 books or 300 books or 50 books based on whatever you require. And then you can just press a button on Amazon, buy a book, which whatever favorite author that you want. Let's say you're buying a Harry Potter book, you click on it on Amazon, you buy it. The 3D printer that you own right now, it will come automatically from that 3D printer onto here, a proper freshly prepared paperback. So that could be the next gen. That is what we are thinking also. It sounds very
Oh,
crazy and creepy, but that's something, yeah, that is possible actually. That is
crazy, yes,
possible with
not
the,
creepy, crazy. Yeah, actually.
yeah. No, creepy as in it's very weird that you have a chalta firta printing machine at your home that could publish the entire book for you the moment
But
you have
it's good
ordered it.
now
So
because as far as I know, it is very important for us to, look at the publishing industry in that way and,
hmm,
redefine it somewhere because nobody has paid attention to that aspect that the publishing industry also needs something like that.
I
So it's
concur and
still
I
working
relate.
on the old avenues and old agendas, that they used to work from like years back or something like that. They're still on that path. So it's good what you are doing. It's different and it's new.
Right, right, right. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, actually, so that's what this is the reason that we are doing this, because we feel that there is a lot of untappable market and untappable innovation that can happen into the publication industry that has never been done before. And specifically, if you see in the short term, uh, uh, the ebook and the audiobook business is coming, like the next phase will be visual storytelling and audio storytelling. So with the advent of Audible, the Amazon product that we are using right now to listen audiobooks, I think audiobooks will be one of the most promising market that I see in short term that could be very much elaborative. And since people have less time, people really don't like, people do love the smell of the freshly minted books and everything, paper and everything. But with the hustle and bustle of this life, they really wanted to channel out. They wanted to have some extracurricular activity going, and by the side they wanted to get informed also. So those small ebooks can be converted into audiobooks and can be there. And for that also, voice also, actually, I told you, as we are creating a studio, a software, which is where you
Yeah.
can directly create an audiobook and publish. So these are the two avenues right now that I see that could be, game changing
Okay,
in the
so
public.
before I move ahead with my question, here is one question like why Yuvraj has asked why not go for ebooks. So that I would
Yeah.
like to answer this like Yuvraj, he is already working on the ebook part, so you might have joined this interview a little late. So we have already discussed that. Mohak, please, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, yeah. So Yuvraj, thank you for the question first of all. Yeah, so we already are like, actually voice also started with ebooks only, because so basically the challenge that we face is creating the emulator for paperback, because paperback is not a hardware device, right? It's a physical entity, and all the publication houses have their own different demands of paperback. Their paper color is different, their quality is different, their font family is different, their font size is different. So paperback is something which is not a very what you call, it's not a very standardized or a very seamless platform to build. So we started off with ebook only, and most of our authors that use our product right now, and most of the publication houses also that we are using a platform, they tend to use our Kindle and iBook emulator and publish it on there. So yeah, we are doing ebook.
Okay, so Mohak, my next question is how uh, deep tech like artificial intelligence and robotics are actually impacting our life uh, in terms of literature and publishing and as well as in general. I would like to know.
Uh, so artificial intelligence. So basically, uh, everything right now that we are doing, the way our life is becoming very smart, the way the life is becoming very autonomous, let's say, is has some of the features of AI inculcated into it, but we don't really see it through the naked eyes. We don't really imagine it right now. Let's say you buy a smart TV also. Let's say you buy a smartphone also. It is a one form of a machine learning. It's like a neural net only, which is actually absorbing it and understanding it. You must be using a lot of filters right now when you use Instagram stories or something like that. And that is also computer vision technology, which is a sub part of artificial intelligence.
Artificial
Artificial
intelligence.
Yeah, so people are like, when they say AI, they think that there is something very, connivingly mysterious happening, like there will be some robot or something. That's not the case. AI is just a framework that manages and makes computer to learn from themselves. That's what AI is. Initially, what happens was computers were like very binary. So you give them the information, you give them the input, they convert that input into their own language, then they learn it, and then they give you the output. But right now, computers, what we are doing is we are giving nothing to the computers and they are learning from themselves. So that is what AI and machine learning are capable of doing. So basically, let's say like smart TV is one of the example. Then Internet of Things, they have their application on AI. And let's say smart cities that we are working on, that is also very much in sync with AI. You must be using Alexa, Siri. They are also a
Yeah.
part of AI that comes into the picture. Uh, so anything that computers learns from themselves and procreate as if human can do it in a potential manner, that is something which AI is capable of doing, and that is how it is impacting us in day-to-day life. In future, we are also seeing the advent of smart cars, autonomous vehicles, and I know India will have a lot of time to get into it through regulations, maybe by 2040 or 2045. But in other countries, the autonomous vehicle has already started doing and booming. They are making their strides. So that is one of the biggest example of how AI can impact. It can make your driving comfortable, more safe, and you don't even have to touch the steering wheel when you are driving something. So that's the future that I see.
Okay, so since I am a little into tech, so I know the difference between AI and robotics, but not everyone here, who have joined us know about it. So I would also like you to tell us. So what exactly is the difference? It's a very basic question, but it's very important for the understanding. So what is the difference between AI and robotics?
If I start answering this question, then the very basic way I can answer is every AI can be a robotic, but not necessarily every robotic can be an AI. So, so it's like uh, basically even that for building a robot you don't even need computer science engineer. You can have mechanical engineer and electrical engineer also. So robot does not even comes under the category of AI if we wanted to. We make it learn through AI systems. That's how it becomes more autonomous in terms of robotics. Rather, otherwise, robot is just a mechanical tool. It's just a device. It's just a hardware, right? You create a robotic arm and you wanted to make it follow something. Then you feed in a software or a program that helps it to do it. That could be a neural network or an AI. That's how it works. So basically, there is a big branch called machine learning. Machine learning, as a word suggests, it's like making machine to learn by themselves. That's what machine learning is, in a juxtaposition. In a very small definition it is, but it is like a very big tree. It's like a very giant tree. It has got unsupervised learning, supervised learning, and reinforced learning. So unsupervised learning is basically what? It's basically data that you are not aware of, data which comes from anywhere. It's very clustered, and then you create it into certain way that becomes very that becomes an output for you. Let's say unsupervised learning. The example would be like creating an image. Let's say you wanted to create an image of a cat, and you don't give any aspect of the data to it. You don't make computer any understanding of it, but the computer itself start learning and designing the image by seeing thousands of cat images before and before and before. So, and then supervised learning could be like something which is like let's say playing a game of chess. So it's a supervised one. Why? Because we all know what chess is. Chess is like there is a very complete set of data which defines chess. There's nothing beyond it. Like that the pawn will move two steps further when it moves first time, and it will move one step further when it moves next time. Then you know how king moves, you know how queen moves, you know how bishop moves. So you know all everything. So the data is very determined and very supervised in nature. And then you
Yeah.
make the computer learn about it to play by itself. That's supervised learning. So these are the few branches of it. Under then when you create a machine learning algorithm, so machine learning is basically training it, giving back to the system, and the system will perform itself. Now neural net comes into the position. So neural net is basically branching on into the machine learning. It's a subpart of machine learning. It's a subcategory of it, and you divide that machine learning algo into small nodes. Those nodes are being connected with neurals, which gives you a sort of an algorithm to perform. So making benefit like optimizing your algorithm from machine learning is neural networks. That's what neural network is, if I have to say in easy terms. So what it does is it takes the input data, it fetches it into the framework of machine learning, then it gives it to the neural networks, and then the neural networks give it to the separate nodes, and those nodes then train that data, and then through the filter it brings back the data. So there is a back propagation also going on. So first it is a front propagation when data comes from input to output, and then from output to again input by learning it. So if the input curve and the output curve are somewhat matching, they are not very, they're basically their difference is very less, their loss function is very less, then we realize, okay, the neural network has optimized the data and the neural network has worked on it. So this is what neural network is. And then comes the AI part of it. So neural network then finishes it and analyze every aspect of it. Then it could perform these activities repetitively over a future of time. And that is what AI specifically means. So when you see an autonomous car or an autonomous vehicle, it is a set of neural networks performing that regularly to make the wheel move, to make the gear move, to make the steering move by itself through the help of a computer, through the help of a very elaborated system. And that's how AI works. I know we are making it very detailed, but that's how it is. It's a very long topic to be discussed. But yeah, so this is how
Yeah.
AI. Yeah.
No, I was saying it's even important to discuss these things because not everyone is aware of what these terms are. So,
Hmm.
so it's so I think it's really informative, and even I am also learning a lot from it. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है मेरा revision हो रहा है.
Thank you. Right, right. I know you are from a tech background, so I can analyze that. Yeah. And
It was
I
long
really,
back. I think it was 2017 when I started writing text. So,
yeah.
2017, 18, 19, I stopped writing in 19. Like I stopped writing text, not I stopped writing as it. So yeah, it's kind of feeling good, discussing these things after a long time. So it's
Right.
good.
Nice,
Okay,
nice.
Mohak, just give me 1 minute. I just need to check my Wi-Fi for a while. So because
Yeah.
the light has been just on and off right now.
Mm-hmm.
तो
Sure, sure.
पता नहीं आज इतनी लाइट क्यों जा रही है यहाँ पर. Just give me 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah. Hi. Huh.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption. This was just all because of the fluctuation of the light. So my
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
yeah.
stopped all of a sudden. So
Right.
yeah, we were talking about AI and robotics.
Yeah, so I gave you the detailed discussion of it, and then you wanted to, like, we were nostalging about, like, I'm glad that I was able to give you the nostalgia about your technical writing times, and I'm very happy that you are actually ruminating those times.
I would also like to share a little experience about me being a tech writer. So when I started out because I had to start out. I wanted to start from somewhere. So it was not planned. I was not into tech. I'm really
Hmm.
not techie, and I was definitely not, wanting to writing tech and all that. So it was an arranged marriage kind of a thing for me. So so I did it because I needed to start my career from somewhere, but gradually I started liking it and I loving it. And even now also I love reading tech. So I even told you I want to write a sci-fi just because of it. So because now I am like very much into technology. I love to know things, AI, Internet of Things, and deep learning, machine learning, and robotics and everything. So so I believe it was a part of my destiny. So it had to happen. So it happened.
Glad that it happened, and I'm waiting and rooting for you that you start your science fiction novel soon, and voice versa could become the part of it somehow, somewhere.
I need to study a lot right now before I start writing a science fiction. So
Yeah.
so we'll review my classes.
Definitely, definitely. The thing is, I know a thing or two about science fiction, and it took me around 6 years to actually understand what I wanted to write properly, and then it was a big research because there's a category on science fiction called hard sci-fi, and it's actually very hard. Like you have to make science very strong into it rather than fiction, so it's very difficult. Yeah, so I can understand.
It is. So I need to learn a lot right now. So I'm, making my foundation. I'm reading a lot in these days. So hopefully I'll do that someday.
Right, right.
So,
Cool.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Coming back to my next question. So, so we all know about artificial intelligence, and we are also seeing it in our daily lives now. Like, for example, if you talk about Alexa, or we are using it in our day-to-day life. So, everyone is using it here in the house or office. But
Right.
then still, I would like to ask, can AI be the common man game, and how?
So, it's a very juxtaposition question in a sense that yes, AI could be a common man game. In a sense, it could reduce the human effort and human error management system into very big stuff. Actually, instead of becoming just a common man, it can actually become a part and an integrated aspect of common man. So let's say people suffering from leprosy, people suffering from neurodiverse diseases, let's say people having certain issues like autism, spectrum diseases. This could be actually like this could be cured and this could be analyzed through AI and this could be diagnosed with AI very soon. So the medical condition and the healthcare industry, which is like a seamless intuition, and it has an alarming issue that we have seen, especially during the pandemic time. So AI could be a driving force when it comes to handling these kind of problems. So for a common man, money management system, like your wealth creation and your wealth automation, like let's say you are having a savings account and you wanted to have an investment, so an AI can introduce you into a deep decentralized way of handling your money and where you can have your mutual funds, your provident fund, or your any SIPs and other investments to be taken care by yourself, by itself, rather than you being worried about it all the time. AI could be your AI could be introduced into your entertainment and music business. So basically, people more connect to the creative space in the in the level, and we all are creative in a sense, right? We, even though we do our job, but we like to have a creativity intuitively connected to us on regular basis. So like making your songs, making your music, making your creation of films better, giving you alternative endings. You must have seen Netflix, their series where they have these alternative endings that you can choose by yourself while sitting and watching the Netflix series. So these are the things that AI is actually penetrating into, and slowly and steadily it is becoming one of the aspects. In the future, I see, like this is also part of my science fiction as well. That in the future, I am seeing that the human and the AI convergence is coming into play, and it will generate an artificial general intelligence, a branch of AI which is upgraded by AI itself, artificial general intelligence, like the film Matrix, where human will be submerged and converged into AI, and that could create a new species after Homo sapiens. That could be the creation of the new species. So that is also a very fascinating topic and fascinating thing. People kind of call it crazy, but that future is very much near. And making your everyday life easier, basically, helping you sort out the groceries. You go to a grocery market, you just pan your app and see what is the most healthiest of the vegetables that you want, what minerals, irons and vitamins that vegetable or fruit possesses, and then you can take and like a advanced decision, helping you making a decision making aspect of it, making your life easier by making you drive from one place to another autonomously so that you don't have to put efforts into it, making your car more susceptible so that whenever there is a service call and you need servicing of your car, you don't have to separately do it and don't have to book it, the appointment to the service center. The car will automatically talk to the service center and do it for yourself. So yeah, these kind of future is very near. It's like in 10 to 20 years, and that's how I see that it will be impacting the common man's life.
10 to 20 years is not that near. Still far, far
Exactly.
away.
No, actually, in a relative scale, if I say, like, 40 years it take us to become a credit card friendly country, 40 to 50 years. Like, we started off very early and then cash, check, uh, debit cards and credit card. But see, like, credit card, a small card made you 40 years of wait. Let's like, and AI is just in 10 years or 20 years around the clock. So that's like something very,
It is
in a
nothing
relative
if you
scale,
compare to that.
yeah.
Okay, so we have spoken about robotics. We have, discussed about AI. So I would like to ask you, what according to you is so since you are working in this genre and you're trying to redefine literature and publishing somewhere, so this my question to you is, what is the future of literature in India when it comes to AI or robotics or maybe tech or maybe in general? So what are your opinion about it?
Uh, so we already have this discussion earlier where I said to you that how autonomously, like we are on the verge of it. Like if you see, our neural network is helping you to choose, like when you are writing a fiction novel on Voice Verso and you upload your manuscript there, so it will give you a storyline also. Like you can choose from alternatively. Like if you wanted to have an engagement with your readership, then it will help you to analyze that if your book is actually engaging a reader friendly or not. So it can help you to choose and have a decision making where you can have an upgraded story based on what your story is going right now. So it can help you in that direction. And in sense of publication, as I said, 3D printing is also around the corner and it is being used by. Yeah, hi. Yeah, I
Hi
guess.
again.
Yeah.
मुझे लग रहा है अब
Maybe
बारिश हो ही जाएगी so because light is behaving this way because of the आंधी and all. I don't know what is it आंधी or what, but then I don't know.
I
So
told
for the third,
I told you कि अंबाला में बारिश होगी हम कराएंगे and that's
अब
happening now.
अम्बाला में हम बारिश करा के रहेंगे.
Right.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
you were saying.
Yeah, so I was just mentioning how AI is going to be a seamless and integrated part of ourselves. Like the question was that you asked, see how it could affect the humans. So every aspect of life, be it your financial systems, be your payments, be it your shopping, be it your e-commerces, be it your healthcare, anything that you use right now using on daily basis could be the part of AI. And then the submergence also that I mentioned, artificial general intelligence. Like the future of Homo sapiens would be a convoluted symbiotic relationship between AI and human beings. So that could be the future of it. Hi Krishna in love. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's great what you're doing, and we really hope to see the AI and the robotics, being with us in the future. So real soon, because it is going to make our job easy, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So apart from all these technical stuff, I also have some fun activities for you. So before closing this session, I thought why not do these kind of stuff. It is fun basically, so I kept it. So the first part is never have I ever. So
Oh
basically what
God.
happens in never have I ever, so we tell what we have done actually. So but in this never have I ever, you have to tell me when I ask never have I ever, like never have you ever, so you have to tell me one thing that you wanted to do and you have not been able to do it since now. Okay,
Right.
so Mohak, never have you ever what?
Finish my science fiction manuscript.
And you have written the synopsis.
Yeah,
You
just
have
the
completed,
synopsis. Yeah, but
and you
3 years.
finish it. Yeah, and now you have to finish it real soon. Okay,
Yeah.
so next part is this or that. Okay, so
So,
this or that, I'll give you two options and you have to choose one.
okay.
Okay, Voice Verso or Smart Cities Wheel.
Oh, it's very tough. Huh?
Uh,
It's like asking one baby. Huh?
I
Mm,
know.
uh, smart cities will, because if I develop cities smart, then voice also will be part of it. It will be integrated it seamlessly into it. So smart
Smart
cities will.
answer. Okay, next. Okay, next. Entrepreneurship or writing.
I would say
You don't
innovation.
have to take so much time. You have to give me answer like this.
Innovation. Innovation.
Innovation. Wow, that's
So
new. I
entrepreneurship and
like it.
writing. So entrepreneurship and writing both comes into it.
Yeah, again, smart answer. Okay, writing or publishing?
Writing. Any day, writing.
Writing. Why writing?
Yeah.
Like,
Because publishing will be done by voice also, no? Writing, because anyway, I have to finish my manuscript also very fast. So writing. I don't get
Good
time to
one.
write, so writing.
Okay, good one. AI or robotics?
AI, because robotics is just extension of an AI. So AI.
Okay, okay, that's nice. So this was it for today, and we have done this interview in three segments basically. So I have uploaded two segments, and I think I'll take it back and then I'll refine the interview and then publish it again. So because I couldn't find the option to download this video earlier, I found it in my other videos in my other lives. I have downloaded the video, but in this I couldn't find it, so I had to just publish it.
Oh,
So
okay,
thank
okay.
you so much, Mohak, for joining me, and thank you so much for cooperating with the lights, the on and off of lights, and the Wi-Fi thing. So it was a little extra interruption today. So, but then you have been very supportive and you have informed us really well about everything. And I'll definitely stay in touch because I need to learn a lot of things from you right now. So in the near future, and I have to write sci-fi, and I have to take quantum physics classes that I have taken one class and I left that class after that. Now I'll continue. So
Yeah.
so it
Thank you
was
so much.
really nice talking to you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kritika, for having me. It was a wonderful, insightful session, and I enjoyed it really well. You have a very conniving way of handling the guests and managing everything. I know it was very tough from your side right now, but you handle it very seamlessly. And I hope I get to see the video afterwards. Like maybe you find some way to download it somewhere, and then we will able to see it and show it to the people as well. So more people get informed. And yes,
Absolutely.
looking forward for your science fiction novel and looking forward for our amazing future conversations as well as physics conversations too. Can't wait.
Absolutely, absolutely, sure thing. And it was a pleasure, to have you here. And you are technically my first guest in my debut chat show, so it was really good. It was really good, and I love this conversation. So it was a hit
Thank you.
basically from my side.
Same here. Same here. Thank you so much. Honor was all mine being the first and debut guest over here. So thank you. Chat with K. Kudos to
Chat with
Chat with
Kate.
K. Hashtag
Thank you
Chat with
so
K.
much, everyone who came here and joined us and listened to us, and even when you didn't want to. So thank you so much for that, and keep just be with me in chat with K. There is going to be a lot more fun in the future, and I'll come up with more information and more creativity and more fun. So thank you so much, Mohak. Wish you a good night, and I'll definitely refine this video and send it to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.